I can draw some Cyberpunk and just apply all those different principles we've been discussed in this channel, like perspective grids, proportions, ratio. Okay, so here we have this VIP car from Cyberpunk on a VIP garage. So you see it's interesting, like this pipe here, lighting, all this stuff. So first it's kind of like 2-point perspective situation. So I can make a grid. And also, like I was talking about design, about abstraction in the previous video about Ryan Berry. Same here, you can see how much is important about just abstract design itself. It's like creating all these rhythms. So let's see. Here we have the vanishing point. So let's do kind of here. The vanishing point. So I can draw this vertical and then like this. And for x-axis we don't see vanishing point here. X-axis it's kind of like this, so it's going outside of paper. So we can using this extent to draw this transition of angles. Same on the other side. And vertical here, yeah, here we have like little conversion for vertical, so it's little like a 3-point perspective. So it's like this y-axis. So we have again here this y-axis will be straight because it goes through this the vanishing point. It's just a vertical line, but then it's start to tilt like this. So, and I already show extent, like only how much it's tilt, and then I draw in between like this. So these are perspective grid. Then I do general arrangement. You see how it's exactly same principle, same approach when you draw character, like I show with Ryan Berry, like when he drew Mecha, when he drew his characters with a complex design. It's exactly same approach. So there is structure and design, so it's like you need to think simultaneously in a level, like when you think about 2D and 3D. at the same time. Так, so let's see. Because for me it's not enough to make it properly in a space. I also wanted to have interesting shapes. So while I am drawing perspective, I also kind of keeping control on abstract quality, on a flat two-dimensional quality of each element. Happy New Year, philosophy. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm in Taiwan, so already like in the next year I'm in the future. It's already morning, January 1st for me. So far so good, feels okay. So I'm here like making stream from future, welcoming you into 2025. Hello Joseph, thank you. Happy New Year. Cool. Yeah, also I make a document file I put in my on my Google Drive, so you can watch a link in a post, in a channel post. So this document file have like all tutorials on the categories, because for me like it's not very convenient to navigate videos on YouTube. They're kind of this playlist, not very convenient. Like on it, I make document file and there's like just in the form of a list, so you can look like theme, topic, and you choose tutorial you want to watch. I think you also maybe you can make a copy of this document and kind of make marks which tutorial you already watched before, so it's kind of list is more convenient. Hello Green Walk, Happy New Year. Cool, thank you. Thank you for feedbacks, for your kind feedbacks. Так. I'm preparing more cool tutorials. There's really a lot of stuff, and I kind of keep improving myself as artist, and I also keep improving as a teacher. So you know, I have like more sophisticated and more like maybe like refined idea of teaching like visual art. So I have like in a schedule, I have in my plan a lot of tutorials. I was thinking make today one, but still kind of little not ready. We'll prepare more. So there will be about like rotating a lot, like how to rotate and draw scene from different angles, how to draw like different kind of video frames. So like, you know, like if you draw for comic book or how it's called, like for a movie, this visual. Cool. Hello, Danny. Сімчав. Що це сімчав? Yeah, I like to, you know, make sure like everything really clear, because you know, problem with education, so often people just give you like formal understanding, you know, so it's just like kind of repeat some standard phrases without make sure people really understand how it works. Something like I watch my niece doing homework for school, and it's ridiculous. They just learn how to have like good degrees, but they don't learn to understand what they're doing. And I'm totally opposite. I'm totally against this. Like I want to make sure students and artists, they like really understand how it works, and also like it should be like evident how to apply it, how to use, so it's not just some kind of formal theory, it's actual kind of practical skill kind of. So it's like understanding help you to do better quality work. And the kind of problem on YouTube, like how I see so often, like tutorials focus more on the form, you know, so it's some kind of, I can understand, because like people want to make money, and they think about how to like how to attract viewers and stuff. But in the same time, it's like they often like losing point. So with all this kind of entertainment, with all this like form, when they're like talking a lot about like, hey, hope you understand. Like for me, is I really appreciate like Ethan Baker, for example. Like it's amazing. Like he gives so many great tips, and it's just like they really important professional tips. But his format itself is just so hard for me to watch, because like you need to figure out like where is he serious, where is like just performance, where is like actual thing. And he's like a very good example, because at least he give like really good material in his early tutorials for sure. But many tutorials on YouTube, they too much care about make it nice and fun for viewers. It's like I don't care much about this. It's just very brutal. I just try like make it like academical as much as possible. Joseph Baker ask mostly just drawing boxes. Should I pick up simple scene? It's kind of I don't know, it's like kind of very broad question, because you should do everything. Like if say like this, like a very general question, and I give you general answer, like you do everything. So it's like you draw boxes, and also you practice drawing some simple scenes. You practice drawing from photo, practice drawing from observation, real life. Thing is just like you really need to draw a lot, and don't look for don't look kind of ways how to economy like your time, your effort. No, your life, all your time should be dedicated to art, to drawing, right? So you already kind of need to accept like, yeah, all my life it will be dedicated to this. So I don't care anymore about like spending too much time for drawing. So drawing boxes and also draw scenes. So what I talking here all the time is like you can choose whatever program you want to try. Like you can watch some my beginner tutorials about perspective basics, like 1-point perspective, 2-point perspective, perspective grids, all this stuff. You can watch my tutorials and practice from them. And this is like one part of your work. It's like training, kind of, let's say, training looks like very your focus on learning theory and practice this theory, right? So it's like theory and practice, kind of. So here, when you're training, it's not about creativity. It's like creativity here is like secondary, tertiary, really. It's like very not super not important. Like most important for you, it's a theory in the training. Here, drawing, when you're training, drawing, this practice kind of drawing, it's only way to help you understand and comprehend theory. Because if you just watch or read about perspective, you will never understand it. You can get some illusion of understanding, but you will never really understand it, because this is about application, it's about practice. And so here it's not about like showing your personality or showing your style or showing it to anyone. It's not about creative or expression or anything. No, it's just learning. It's a training. is some kind of like running in the morning, like routine work, right? So let's say routine. And second part of what artists doing, it's let's say like creativity kind of, right? So creative part of work, and this is like they're not together, they must be divided. Don't put it together. Like, or if you put some creativity in your training just for fun, right? So it's like me, like this is my practice of perspective, it's kind of my routine, which I just like keep like refreshing and strengthen my neural network. Like I say, it's like kind of like a dry shooting or some training in a gym, when you like boxing gym, like, you know, when you just need to repeat kind of certain moves, all stuff. It's not just muscle memory, it's building neural network in your brain, right? It's not just about memory kind of something, it's about your experience. So like more often you have certain experience, more strong your network, right? So it's quicker, faster, you will use this knowledge, this skill, more efficient, more comfortable and easy will be for you to draw this kind of stuff. So yeah, so I choose kind of draw Cyberpunk, and I can draw some for fun, some stuff here, like I don't know, let's say I just so much like this composition, I don't know what to draw here. Maybe put figure here and here, let's right. So, and I can like for fun kind of draw some figures here, but I don't want to make beautiful picture. I don't want to make something like, I will not even post it or sell it or whatever, you know. It's just practice. So this is really important. But for creativity, you think totally opposite. You choose from your like where you want to be, like what you final result you want to have. So it's, let's say, it's like, how to say in English, it's like perfect final result, like perfect or like kind of what I want, like result. So perfect's like in the quotes here, because it's not about perfect again, it's just about kind of like what you want, like what I want, right? It's like one thing here, and second thing here is like self-expression, right? Self-expression, and this is like message, maybe like message. So it's like you want to tell about something, or you want to share something, like you share your love for something. Like, I mean, literally, like for me, like a drawing, I understand it from my experience, from my like experience of drawing when I travel, drawing different landscapes. I realize that somehow it's like when I was a student and invite some girls to draw their like as models, you know, and it's amazing, you know, when you fall in love with a girl and you draw her, like you want to really to express this in your drawing, kind of, right? It's like you're like so amazed, like how something like this can exist, like so like perfect being, like this amazing creature, kind of, right? And everything, all this like shapes, form, everything looks so fantastic, and you trying to express it in your work. So this kind of like admiration, this passion, this your like love to subject, it's also this your self-expression and message. It's kind of core here, right? Same like maybe you have like feelings for a girl and you want to like tell it to her, and then you realize like you cannot just say it. It's somehow it's not work if you say it directly, right? So you want to kind of impress her somehow. So maybe you start to write poetry, or you sing song for her. Maybe you make your own song, or you just find like song which perfectly fit kind of for to make her feel how much you love her, you know. So same for me. I was realized like I just walk in the street and I look like, wow, this place looks so fantastic. I don't know, like looks or feels, it's just make like it's kind of amazing, and I want to show it in my work. For me this is idea of love. It is like you amazed by existence of something. It's not about, you know, like you want to possess something or you want to own something. No, it's just about being happy about something exists. Like you see, like you just rejoice kind of, right? Like so, like, oh, that's amazing, and you want to share it. So I think this is first of all, yeah, this is most important. So, and this is kind of your creative core. So why you draw something? First of all, from this passion kind of within you, and then you can like look to be more like practical and more formal about it. It's like how you want to make it look, right? There's so many aspects of it. So then you need to look for master pieces, let's say, right? So you look, you already have some artists who impress you, and I'm sure this is why you want to be artist. It's just because you've seen somebody art. So go and study their art, why you like them. You can copy from them, and it's take a lot of time for me to realize how straightforward it works. Just copy directly from them, literally. Just steal everything you can, because you cannot draw like them. So don't worry. Don't worry, you will not kind of thief eventually. You will just like by trying copy and stealing from them, like creatively talking, right? It's you will just realize that every time you copy, you eventually you make something your own thing. You will make kind of your version of their style. It's kind of will be your interpretation. And yeah, kind of general rule here, of course, like don't copy like his drawing until is your own drawing, because kind of idea and being author is different thing. You will not become author if you copy somebody's work. But it's talking about style, so it's like you need to know like how your picture will be look in the ending. So this is what you're looking for, like what is your final result. Like you want it done with a pencil or with ink. So your final picture will be in the ink. Then you look for masterpieces done with ink. So let's say for me is ink, watercolor. Then I like it to be like little like stylized style. It's like simplified, you know, like cartoon. Something like this Spider-Man 1990s like this was cartoon, kind of like little simplified features, or something, yeah, like between Miyazaki and Otomo, something this kind of style. So, and you go more specific, you say like how they draw nose, because you can learn, you go to art school, right? It's important for you to understand anatomy and all this complex structure. So you go to art school and they like teach you like how to draw this 3D nose, right? All this like bones and stuff, and like shading, all this stuff, right? So you can like learn all this, and after like you cannot draw nose in a way you want, because you can draw only like one kind of, let's say like this, like art school noses kind of, right? So look how they draw noses in their style. Sometimes like some literary, just still. So this is what everybody do. So you have like nose, like when you look like 3 and 4, nose looks like this. When you look in front, nose look like this, or like this if it's a little downwards, right? So it's just like or I don't know, or sometimes like this. So you need to really take it and copy like how they draw noses, just for example, because it's like a visual language. So this you thinking about your final result, you copy from artist you want kind of to be like, right? And because you cannot invent art style, you cannot invent like art form. And then this one is totally like not about look. This about look. This is not. This about theory. This about your understanding. Oh yeah, Eric Jensen, Happy New Year too. So you need to do it both every day, every week, and whole year. So you do this theory and do whatever, this routine. Maybe like if you struggle with boxes, draw a lot of boxes. If it's too boring, okay, sometimes you switch, like you draw one page with boxes, then you draw some scene in perspective. Let's say like it will be also about boxes, because you have box is like inside box is a room, then you have box table, then you have box chair. So actually you will keep practicing boxes all the time you draw in perspective. It's just when you like at beginning, it just help you better understand perspective principles when you start drawing on the boxes. So then we have box figure here and stuff, right? Can be vertical. So, and you do this like not big size drawings. So it's just like you can do whole process more fast, more quick. Because if you will do like A4 size, A3, A2, it will just take longer time. But you know, it's like again, it's like you need to draw so many, so you kind of just draw everything. Just somehow you will draw, eventually you will draw everything. Like, you know, I don't even know how many boxes I've been drawing in my life. Maybe 1 million boxes. So it's kind of never too much. Так. Okay, so let's say here we have Hello, human. Cool. Cool. Thank you, human atelier. Happy New Year. Так. Okay, anyway, let's just... Yeah, I will make video about how to improve, how to study. I kind of keep thinking about it because like still like little chaotic explanation. I want to make it more structural. Yeah, so yeah, of course, like main principle also to all art learning is to approach it as a marathon. It's like don't rush, don't like don't make like too short time kind of limits for yourself, because it's take years. So in talking about this, just make sure you keep going, you keep drawing, and like sometimes you might be tired from one subject, you can switch for other subject, so then you will later you will return again. So same, like if you study boxes and you kind of fed of them, you can like switch for something more interesting, and then you will again back to for boxes for a little bit, for just for challenge or for fun, who knows. It's just like when you will see you lacking some more essential practice, you can back to it anytime. Just don't consider it's like it's something wrong with that. It's nothing wrong. This like learning process. It's a lot about relearning and repeating, like going back and make it again, but with a better quality, and understand it on a more deeper level from new experience. So it's like I was entitled and feel like I know all perspective, like I don't know, like 10 years ago or like 15 years ago. It's called I forgot, it's called like some kind of bias when you're in the beginning and you learn little stuff and you already feel like you're super experienced and you know everything. No, it's illusion. So you need to remember, you might feel you learn something, but then you will discover you actually not, or your understanding of this knowledge is far too much superficial, too basic. So learning is not about learning everything from first attempt, but repeating, like in every discipline. Hello, Giptom. Thank you. Yeah, I have like watched my other videos also with fisheye perspectives, with a 6-point perspective and stuff. So yeah, in future I will do many other tutorials about essentials and more, let's say, like more practical, like about how to draw your characters, how to make your own illustrations, how to draw comic book, this kind of stuff. We'll share my process of drawing comic books and illustrations. Так, что-то So I make this document file with all tutorials I already make. Well, I didn't figure out like I didn't notice how many video I already make. It's crazy. So, and considering how much more video it will be, yeah, it will be like university on my YouTube. So yeah, so I want it to be like real, like super complex, multifaceted, multi-level library of tutorials. So about a very narrow specific subject and about more like practical and like techniques and drawing process. Also, I recommend for everybody really like draw from real life and go draw from observation. Because it's like long story, it's hard to explain, but it's really important to make sure life drawing is part of your life, because somehow it connects you to reality. This is what artists must have, this like direct connection with the real world. Because if we're only draw from photographs and all these like artificial sources, we are losing something. And it's really, and this kind of thing which is impossible to explain, you need only experience it. When you experience, yeah, that's important. And you can see difference in artists. It's something like important for you as a creator, for your like creative health. Because yeah, okay, I will tell maybe like this. If you have this connection with real world, then you're able to create real original art. This is like 100% sure, because it's like, it's not only about like drawing what you see in front of you. No, it's just about this experience, this feeling of connecting to something like bigger than your life. It's something like source. It's real like source of everything, of every art and everything artificial, like everybody, like everything being taken from this source. And you can like look for other works based on a source, which is also kind of is important, because you work in a medium and you need to see like a classic, and you need to know like a toolbox kind of, right? But it's different when you also can be connected yourself to this source, and this source is not only like environments and objects outside. It's about like this reality inside you, because like when you draw outside, it's also about drawing what inside you, because we see what, it's like a mirror, right? Like when you look around, you see something which you have inside you. You kind of project yourself on the world outside. So it's help also to understand and communicate with yourself. So somehow it's just like I say, it's like just the idea itself connecting with the source. And this source might, like, from a first glance, it might feel like it's something outside, but then you realize it's multi-dimensional. It exists simultaneously inside you and outside you. So important is like it's different than if you draw like from photograph or from somebody work, because when it's somebody work, which is photograph, it's done by somebody, even if it's like AI or program, it's like product, it's not original. So when you directly communicate with the real world, you also kind of train yourself. You kind of like, tune your radio for such like signals, kind of, right? So you start to perceive and notice this kind of original, like direct signals from world around you, kind of. So, and this somehow is like really essential for your authenticity, right? To be authentic, because you will see what every style, every narrative, every art form, what they're based on. They all based on this experience. So that's why it's important to make it like a regular thing to draw from real life, like drawing people or environments, no matter like how elaborated these drawings. This can be like quick sketch or color or black and white. It's interesting, like I was in a childhood, like I've been in working in the fields, like we have a lot of different vegetables, and we go like very early morning, we go to these fields like before sunrise, and we need to walk through sunflower fields, wheat fields, and green bean field. And I was like in the childhood, like I was like very short, so when I go in the green bean field, it's like I'm inside forest. It's like all these like green beans like above me, like maybe like one head higher than me. So, and we with my brother, we were going to well, to take water from underground. So it like drop this bucket and like take water there and walk with water through fields. And then it's like all this stuff like digging earth and stuff. And on a lunch break, we just leaning on the earth, just on a raw earth or with some grass, eating sandwiches. And it's so crazy, it's so much like connection, like for real world. Right now it feels like almost almost impossible, like it feels like from other reality. People so much in kind of wrapped with the urban lifestyle, so they even not walking like barefoot on the ground and on the grass. Like an astronaut. let's do like here's check your wheels or security, say like don't approach this car, don't dare you touch this car. And you like leaning on the grass and you see like how grass move in the wind, you know, it's this kind of gladiator moments. Amazing. Amazing. Let's see here. Let's do this one. So here we have like a very low camera looking up, so it's making this 3 vanishing point perspective. So let's say this y-axis. Stronger here. Так. Horizon line maybe here. So here we see this car is also kind of box in a 3-point perspective. So let's see. So we'll make this angle here to see direction of axis. So here this will be like the vanishing point. And this one will be x axis. So now we have this horizon line and the x axis. So we have this like relationship, right? This conversion. So here I projected on both and just keep, let's say, you see here we have this x axis, so here it's below car, go like this, and because it's very close to horizon line, so angle is not very sharp, it's like very flat, and here it's very strong. Here also we have this also x axis. It's actually, yeah, let's see, yeah, it's kind of like vanishing point, like here on the edge. But okay, let's do vanishing point for x. So if we have like this, so for x, vanishing point here, then it's even easier because we have vanishing point. So this is 3 vanishing point perspective. Now let me do car here. Just adjust proportions. So you see, again, I'm kind of sculpting this shape, but within 3D space. So it's like a volumetric shape, but at the same time it's also flat two-dimensional shape. So I want to kind of deliver this interesting dynamic shape even in a 2D, kind of in 2D representation of it. And these buildings, you see again, all these buildings is like a boxes. So the drawing them is super easy compared to drawing vehicles. Interesting. So some boxes more like squares, some boxes I can also rotate, so they will have like different vanishing points. Так. Okay. Anyway, so it's kind of this raw sketch for composition, which I say is like you are put together 2D and 3D, like this like alchemical marriage, let's say. Так. So also, like, if you watch when I explain about this, here you can see like perfect also example about this approach when you go in from result direction. So let's say I think about like what I want my work to look like, and there is a lot of aspects, a lot of layers, and one of layer is about like marks, like a line, right? Like which material I use, it's ink or marker. So then how many lines I do, like it's fewer lines, so it's a lot of hatching, a lot of noodling, kind of. I can think and decide what I prefer here. But also it's about building scene, like how I build my illustration scene, right? So, and then let's say like in my comic book and my illustration, I have chasing scene. I have some, or I have like, maybe here is like a dialogue happen inside car, and here's like my main character inside car. And I sit and I say like, okay, how will I compose? How I will like create this scene? You can steal it like this, but it's like you can take this like perspective grid. So you say like, oh, I like perspective grid on this picture, right? So it's not like I copy like mindlessly. I deconstruct and I take elements I want in my work. So I take perspective grid, and maybe I take like general composition idea. So I put this like here, car here in the front. I change city for my city design from my story. So in my story maybe there is like cities look like this kind of. They're more like wobble shapes and have some this like wobble structures, but it's still like 3-point perspective, right? 3-point. So, and the car is like my hero, my main character design car. So I take in composition, like idea of this composition, that there is like hero car, then here is street, he driving his car in the street, and then I add my own character design or vehicle design, city design, I will add to this composition. So in the other way, we can see how every designer, how they steal elements of design, and it's some kind of similar to folklore, you know, like when you're like you're making variations of folk music, right? So it don't consider like you're stealing, because it's a folk. You can only make variation of it. So same in the genre work same way. Like if you want cyberpunk, okay, it's anyway it's considered you need to study cyberpunk form. So you go and you look like how, like what design there exists. So that's why we see like all cyberpunk art is kind of stealing from each other, because you cannot make a genre without copying previous work, without using elements from previous work. Hello AA, Happy New Year. So here it's like it's already, I might change a lot, but and this will be my illustration. Here I don't change too much, I don't like focus. Here is more like training approach for this video. But like you can see my video about 6-point perspective sphere. and where I draw. Well, I have two video. In one video I draw in like inside interior, so it's like very similar to Escher original reflective sphere illustration. But there also a second video I make where I draw it's like on a exterior, like trauma team on the roof holding a reflective sphere. So it's very much based on Escher, but then with this trauma team is completely different work. It's like absolutely different work, because you know, character designs, and it's not even interior anymore, it became exterior. But my foundation, kind of this like ground from which I build this work, it's Escher composition and Escher idea of a kind of hand holding reflective sphere. And basically, like every time you draw anything from nature, from reference, it's always recreating, like never copy. Like when I say like copy masters, more proper way say it's like analysis masterworks, because you need analysis, and it's mean you break down, you deconstruct their work for all these elements, like how it built. So what is the perspective inside this work, what is the abstract composition inside this work. You need to see like construction blocks of this artwork, and then when you like deconstruct it, you reconstruct it, you rebuild it, like if it was your work, like if you make it yourself, you know, like if you're like original creator of this work. This is proper way to draw from any reference. Because if you not approach it this way, then only outcome you have from such practice is ability to copy, like practice your accuracy, you know. So it's like, oh, I can draw, like, I know, I look at this shape and then I copy, kind of, I want to be accurate to copy this angle, you know. Oh, and it's like, yeah, I copy, and then, yeah, I can copy like this. So what? You know, I think it's like a least important skill you need. Yeah, it's good if you're able to draw like accurate and copy angles and proportions and stuff, but it's least important. And because also this skill you will just get it naturally from a mileage. You don't need to like too much focus on it. You will just eventually you will get accuracy. But ability to break down, analyze, like deconstruct, reconstruct, this is very technical. At first it feels like very like counterintuitive kind of at first, but then it became part of your nature, and it's like very professional skill. It's really important. And this kind of analytical kind of thinking, right? Analytical part of creative process. It's very similar to geometry, to some like arithmetics. Just kind of be ready for that. Like I don't understand this artist who say like they hate perspective or they hate anatomy. It's like, it's weird. You hate it just because you cannot do it from a go, from first attempt. No, it's a ridiculous mindset. I just totally against this. What I believe, like what is important and is very cool core quality of artistic mindset of every creative who create on any decent level, it's a joy from hard work. You really kind of enjoy it, you know. It's like little kind of, you know, you enjoy this like challenge, you enjoy like struggle and like being like tested. I don't like human competition personally, like, but I like the challenge, you know, in the work itself. Like when it's look impossible, you're like, oh, I don't know, it's crazy, I cannot do it, it's too difficult. Or you like in the process, maybe you want to give up, you know, so it's like very challenging, and you tell yourself like, don't give up, keep doing it, you know. And then you became addicted to it. So when you improve and when you already have some like pretty advanced level, at least compared to your beginning, right? Like when you was at the beginning, and then after 5 years you already like master for your old self. It's like, oh my god, before I only dream to draw like this, but now it's so easy for me. And it seems like you might stuck on it and say like, oh, I will just have fun with this stuff. But you get addicted to challenge, so you start to like create a new, more challenging tasks for yourself. Like you want to draw more complex, more sophisticated works, you know. And this is how you improve. This is how you became from average, from some kind of, you know, like mediocrity. You develop something really, like something really meaningful and really like worth of people attention and money, maybe, if it's like if they pay for tickets, kind of, right? So let's say like all this cartoons, Hollywood movies, all this stuff, like when we see it's like superficially everything there. It's like a lot of money, huge budget, a lot of special effects, a lot of actors, like famous actors, and camera quality, everything is great, right? But somehow movie is so bad, like just mediocre. It's just, you feel like you're waste your time watching this movie. It's like give you nothing, you get nothing from that. So my answer for this, I'm sure, is just because there was no effort, no any kind of like nobody been pushing his limits. So if you watch, there is movie, this series called Offer, about creation of a Godfather movie. It's a very funny series. Maybe HBO, for sure. You can Google Offer. And there is kind of example like how much struggle, how much crazy effort require like a decent work. It's like, so somehow it's like, it's just decent work, it's just your attitude, right? So you don't want to be like slacking and just like imitate activity kind of on your workplace. You just want to make decent work, and eventually you make a masterpiece. But it's crazy, like in the process it's so challenging and impossible, like for somebody looking from outside, if he will really see how many struggle it require, like this kind of easygoing person will never accept it, because like everybody will look like, say, hey, I want just get my salary, I just work for money, this kind of thing. It's not like we're not working for money, we're not working for attention or for like pleasing people and like receive these compliments or whatever, right? We're working because this is the way how we feel alive. You just feel like what is mean to be alive, like fulfillment, it's like, say, I experienced so many so complex and very rich reality. So I wish anybody in life have this kind of experience, and this why I make my work. It's just to feel alive, to feel this meaning and richness kind of world, This weird here, weird pattern. Some kind of like a fish in the water, right? Like it will be weird if like fish will talk about how many times they swim. It's like, oh, how often do you swim in, or like how many hours in a day you swim in the water? So it's kind of weird conversation, right? You live in the water, you fish. Dude, what are you talking about? We're fish. We're just living in the water. Yeah. You just swimming constantly. You're all your time you're in the water. Sometimes you just push harder and you need to swim faster. And it's like everywhere information about this. So like let's say like in the Titanic, this scene is exactly talking about this idea. It's like Titanic thinking, kind of, right? Everybody know it's going underwater, people running in a panic. They like somebody jumping in the water, somebody like fighting for place in a boat, and people just trying to comprehend in how bad situations they are, trying to cope with it. And there is orchestra, these guys with from orchestra, and they say like, okay, what can we do? Let's play music like we like to do. Like, you know, you want to live, and this way you live. You play music. So this best you can do in the face of fate, kind of, right? So kind of I have similar feeling like in the 2022 when it was like very likely like nuclear war will begin. I mean, there it was like very close, because like, no, because I watch in the Russian language, I can read all kind of what Russian propaganda talking about. So guys being like just casually talking on TV every day about starting nuclear war. It's not very much known on other countries. It's not like translated to other world, right? But in the Russian language, on the Russian media, in all Russian media central channels, they were talking about starting nuclear war. And it's like, looking what they already do in Ukraine, I was sure something like this will happen. And I kind of like, I don't know what can I do. So I just go to events, drawing people portraits. I think like, okay, maybe it's like my last days in the world, but at least, you know, can draw some people, and those people kind of happy to see their drawings. And also did tutorials. I think like, okay, maybe it's kind of like best we can do. We can learn, we can create, we can kind of support each other. So because even if we have one more day to live only, I find like it's the best activity we can do. I will not like run to brothel or a bar and like seeking for drugs. I think it's stupid. Like this is not like most fun experience you can have. Так, so so basically then also can say like whole life is kind of like this too, like we should to be aware of our mortality, kind of, right? So we're not living forever. So, and like knowing that like you're not immortal, kind of, right? What will you do? How will you live? Like what you want your life be? It's like what is your concept of living full life, right? And different people understand it differently, for sure, but I think it's kind of important for yourself just to have this answer, like what is for you. And what I mean, like in which context I'm talking about, I think like your choice of profession, it should be based kind of on this idea. It's like your profession, it's like your life choice is choice of how you understand life, like what you think human like you or you should do with your life, you know? It's not just about getting money or something. It's also about just like you believe this is best you can do. This what you will do when you know it will be like last day in your life. It's same kind of like similar, you know, to this like people character, like when we, I don't know like how to verbalize it, but let's say like, you know, when people change their opinion in the face of a danger, yeah, we can say like, okay, this person, he don't have character, because he's not, his worldview, his decision not based on a solid ground, you know. And this solid ground, it means like no matter what happened, I will keep my like I will keep my decision, kind of. I don't know how to say. Oh, and of course, yeah, somebody will say it's easy to say no matter what happened before something happened. It's kind of another, it's like very, life is very complicated thing. When everything can happen, then everything can happen. But when we make certain let's say like every time we have any opinion or decision or point of view, it's always based on a certain illusion. So in like you can say it's like being delusional, but actually fact is every opinion is delusional. So you just make a decision like which you want to hold to, kind of, right? So this kind of paradox of life is this kind of funny. I also believe, like, say, if you're a writer, right? If you're a writer, it's very essential to understand these kind of things. Otherwise, your worldview too naive. Because, like, yeah, I have my life principles. I have all this, like I was talking about all this time, based on my personal delusions. I just choose to follow these delusions. Just because I know if there is nobody can prove anything, like talking about like, you know, it's like no meta proofs. Every proofs, they're based on a certain assumption and kind of theory, right? But it doesn't mean you should be like cynical or nihilistic. This is funny paradox. This is funny paradox. Happy New Year, GC, and 3K. Happy New Year too. Just put some shading. Let me try with this simple shading, maybe to show this lighting. So can say, yeah, maybe let's say like life is like theater, but when you go in theater, you must forget is not real, because if you will watch play and constantly remind yourself, oh, it's fake, these people is actors, they're pretending, they don't really feel that way, you know. You will just you will spoil your experience, right? So same with the real life. Same, yeah, you can have this mental exercise when you sit and think about meaning of life and like what I'm living for, about mortality and stuff, and you realize like, yeah, eventually like I will die, and everything I done will be evaporated, kind of, you know, in the space. Like it's very small probability like people will remember who I was and what I done, kind of this, right? You can think about this, but it will be same like if you will go to theater and watch theater and scream like every minute it's like it's a fake. They're pretending. It's just it's he don't love her. He's just actor. It's a stage, you know. Same with real life. Everybody we agree to pretend we don't know. It's kind of it's temporary, and we just play together, kind of this. And here is the meaning inside this community, inside our mutual agreement. We create meaning. This kind of trick, this funny thing. And this is why I say, like, as a author, like writer or artist who create narrative, right? You should be aware of that, because this is what you exactly what are you're doing. You creating this meaning which we are everybody playing together, kind of. You constructing it, you developing it, and there is nothing more than this. There is no meaning behind meaning that we create. So and some people they just break their mind over this. They kind of like I think like they're just not capable to. They cannot manage paradox. So they're just like consumers in a way, because they will not able to work with narratives, because they cannot manage paradox property of meaning and reality, kind of, right? But for writers, for creators, I think it's essential. It's really essential to kind of have this idea, like where meaning is located, like what is this, where it came from. So like, yeah. If you have your thoughts about this, write in a comment. Interesting conversation will be about this. Так. So it's very interesting trying to make shading with this simple tool, because really like push me to be more clever with it. So like think better about gray shapes. So, and this interesting, this I talking about all this meaning and kind of culture, right? Yeah, this is culture, and this I also was realized when this war in Ukraine began, because it's my neighbor area, kind of from this region, southwest, and it was like so clear to me. It's like so I just understand how it works, kind of like how culture, how all this meaning, right, is made by people, made by community. It's designed by people to create higher quality life, higher quality community experience. And this is so fragile. It's so easy to destroy when there is some kind of, when people just in a stage, on a kind of in a state of physical survival, right? So there is some like kind of barbarians kind of roaming inside your culture, and they say like, hey, for us all your stuff have no sense. We don't understand your meanings. We don't care about your symbols. We don't care about your ideas and principles. For us as nothing. And they just start to destroying all this. And they really destroying it. So they destroying way of living, way of existing, culture, history, everything. And it's so we as a living intelligent species, kind of, right, we're constantly having this like it's our responsibility, not only kind of utilize kind of culture, right? We're not only like consumers of this culture, but it's also our responsibility to protect it, to maintain, take care of it, make sure it will be not lost. Because it's work of so many people. It's a huge work of many generations. People put so many effort in building culture, But then with just some sticks and bombs, it can be destroyed like very easily. It's like they destroy whole cities in Ukraine. This Russia army, they just erasing cities from existence. All these libraries, schools, universities, museums, theaters inside the city, everything absolutely grounded. It's like just fallout there. This is how it works. So this kind of realizing this is kind of also like pushing me, motivate to share knowledge, to share my understanding of stuff, because like at least like as far as I know, not so much, like I'm not whole like academia on my own, but something I learn and I want really I think it's important kind of part of our life. It's to share and maintain our culture and like heritage, right? Because it's always done by people. If people will not contribute to it, it will be destroyed. It's just like somebody really like in a mode of seek and destroy, like Metallica song. So somehow this like ability to making like this realistic drawings, I believe is important. It's really important kind of part of our Western culture, kind of, right? So we really need to care of it. Don't think about it something like exists on its own, like exists forever and stuff. No. You need to also kind of contribute to it, take care of it, otherwise say goodbye to all this stuff. Так. Okay, so anyway, something like this. So everybody, wish you good new year. Study, improve, and yeah, have a like wish you faster improvement, and like have a lot of energy and motivation, passion, and also a lot of patience, because you need just patience to keep doing it, to like consistently, day by day, week by week, just doing simple and efficient practice. Then check out, I make post with my document file where I will write all my videos I post on YouTube, and I put them in the categories, so you can watch like each category about like urban sketch, drawing interior, drawing exterior, drawing motorcycle, drawing watercolor, all the stuff. So I think it's just more easy to watch videos when you have like a list in the document file. and also there is, I have for my members and patrons, I upload to Google Drive, I upload two PureRef files with these designs from Cyberpunk. So let me see, yeah, here, like this one PureRef file, it's vehicles. So I kind of collect like this like reference from Cyberpunk game because I really love their designs, like vehicles. It's just so cool. So, and they have like this art bible in for this game. So they have like 4 major style. This like they call entropism, kitsch, neo-militarism, and neo-kitsch. So it's very interesting to study how they make this like different category of style, and like how they have like different kind of cars in this style. So we have this like, it's kind of like a Mustang, I think, the Cyberpunk Mustang. It's just so cool. Then have like Lamborghini something, and then we have like also different like this like SUV, like this military style SUV, and then yeah, these designs just so cool. So you can like also like study their design and better understand kind of how they make it with these PureRef files. So this one, so cool. And can steal some cool ideas, because this like there a lot of this style in Cyberpunk is been inspired from Sid Meat, definitely, like this one. So there is also this flying vehicles like medicine, military. They even have animation. That's so cool. So kind of been like research everywhere on the internet and ArtStation and stuff. And this like different police cars. And I love PureRef because here you can really put all stuff together and organize it in a certain like structure, so it will be more clear and convenient for your also kind of artistic purposes. Because now if you want to draw some kind of cyberpunk, you can go here and inspire by their designs, no matter what kind of vehicles it is. And so this one file, it's with vehicles, and other file is just with general designs for these 4 styles. It's like environment, some clothing designs, and they're even like they have design of map. I will open now. I will show you. It's so cool. So they even like arrange these styles, like how they placed on a map, in a game map, in a city map. So it's like city center have more this kitsch and neo-military design, and like here have this map. So and this one. So they have like this outside areas. Outside area have more like what's called entropy style. So here's like chart like so in a suburb area is entropism, all this like designs with dirty cars, like you know, like no style, let's say. Then on a outer city there start to be like mix of entropism and kitsch, and like city centers they are like corporations with this neo-militarism, and they're like in Beverly Hills, like they're like VIP super like elite place. They have like this neo-kitsch style. So, and here also examples with architecture. Let's show like here. So this kitsch, we have like all this prop design, vehicle design, clothing design, streets, some screenshot from games with examples of neo-kitsch. And then like for contrast, this is neo-militarism, so you see it's like very brutal. Same like some architecture design, environment design, prop design, like this like boxes, or this one, neo-military. So I think it's really cool to learn design from these works. So you kind of like me, I work on my comic book, so I wanted to be also like this, like very clearly organized distinction between different like different timelines, different regions. So here we have this luxury kind of style, neo-kitsch, so you can see. So if you member or Patreon, you can take these files from my Google Drive. So have a good new year. Also hello from my cat, meow meow meow. Hey, naughty cat.